Welcome to Homework Lib.
All right, a lot happening here. So the first one, midpoint. To find a midpoint, you add up the x coordinates together. So in this case, it would be 4 and 2, and then take half. It's the middle of the x's. So halfway between 4 and 2 is 3. Then the y coordinate would be the y coordinates negative 4 and 4 added together, and then take half. So we get 4 plus 2 is 6 over 2 is 3. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0 over 2 is 0. So 3, 0 is the midpoint. The length, you can use the distance formula, the square root of the difference of your x coordinates, 2 minus 4, x2 minus x1 squared, plus the difference of your y coordinates, 4 minus negative 4 squared. And that would be negative 2 squared is 4, plus 4 plus 4 is 16, excuse me, 8 squared is 64, and 4 plus 64 is 68. So it's the square root of 68 exactly, or about 8.25 if you're rounding. You might want to use the exact version though. It's totally up to you. C, you want an equation of a line that's perpendicular. So we need the slope. The slope is y2 minus y1. So that would be 4 minus negative 4 over x2 minus x1, which is 2 minus 4. Again, x2 minus x1, 2 minus 4. So 4 minus negative 4 is 4 plus 4, 8, and 2 minus 4 is negative 2. 8 over negative 2 is negative 4 is the slope of the segment. Now we want to be specifically perpendicular here. The perpendicular slope is the opposite reciprocal, so d positive 1/4. To write an equation, think y equals mx plus b, for instance. We want to go through the midpoint, which is 3, 0. So that's an xy. Substitute 0 for y. The slope we want 1/4 for x. 3 for x. Again, it went through 3, 0. So substitute 3 for x, 0 for y. And we'll find the b value. Well, 1/4 times 3 is 3/4. Subtract 3/4, and that's our b value. So our equation would be y equals m is 1/4. And our b is negative 3/4. So 1/4 x minus 3/4 is a version of the line. On to D, an equation of a line parallel. Well, we're going to do the same thing as C, except we're going to use the slope of the original one. So plug in 0 for y, negative 4 for the slope, 3 for x. So it goes through 3, 0 with a slope of negative 4. What y-intercept would it have? Well, negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Add 12 to both sides, and that's your y-intercept. So our equation would be y equals negative 4x plus 12. And finally, E, we want to find an equation of a circle. An equation of a circle is centered at 3, 0 would be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 0 squared, or just x minus 3 squared plus y squared. That's centered at 3, 0. And we're equal to the radius squared. Well, the radius, if we keep it exact, would be half of the diameter, or in the diameter would be the distance from P to Q, if that is what it's stating here. And so we want half of the square root of 68. I'm just going to write it as the square root of 68 over 2 that we square, because the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared, where the center is hk. We can go further with this. The square root of 68 squared is 68 over 2 squared is 4. 68 over 4 is 17. So x minus 3 squared plus y squared equals 17 is your equation of a circle.